Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a video talking about The Walking Dead Season 3 TV series and a little bit about the comic book too, which is basically going to address my answer to a question that I get a lot in my channel, which is, do I think that Tyreese, okay, is basically, going to be brought into the show at a later date, like in Season 4, or is TDog sort of our replacement for Tyreese, or is Daryl sort of in that role? Well, I mean, up to this point, Daryl and TDog have kind of split that role, and they're kind of, like if you put the two of them together, they basically are what Tyreese was in the comic book series, which is they are sort of like Rick's second-hand man, which Daryl is. And then, of course, T-Dog as well. I wouldn't call him, his right-hand man, but he's definitely one of the characters that helps Rick out with all the things that he has to do. Like when Rick says to go get Randall in Season 2, T-Dog's the one to go in there to go get him. And, he does all kinds of stuff for the group that's good. And I think it's kind of funny that he's even survived to this point, because I think everyone thought he would have just, like, died in the first season or something. I didn't think he was going to last this long, and he's still here, which is kind of cool too. But I still think they're going to bring in Tyreese at some point from the comic book series, because, the funny thing about the comic book series is when you look back at it, Shane had a pretty big role in the series, but Tyrese's role was like 10 times as long, or like way longer. Okay, maybe not 10 times, but like 5 times as long as Shane's role. The things that he does with Rick, getting into a fight with him, all that kind of stuff. Some of those concepts seem like have been brought over into the TV series. Like, there is a scene in the prison in the comic book series where Tyreese and Rick get into a huge fight over something. And in the TV series, instead of seeing it that way, we see Shane and Rick get into a huge fight at the end of Season 2, which I thought was really well done and really made a lot of sense for their situation, and just, made everything come together and feel real natural after that. Because the thing is like, if you get in a fight with another guy, whether he's your friend or not, whether you win or lose or not, or whatever happens, it's kind of one of those things where guys will shake hands, but afterwards, a lot of times they still, even though they say they're cool with each other, whatever, they're still not cool with each other. They still hate each other. Maybe if one guy beat the other guy a little bit more, let's say it's 60-40 or 70-30 in terms of damage or who won, the guy that lost is always going to have that grudge against the other guy. So in the TV series, they did it that way. And I do think eventually they're going to bring in Tyreese into the show. But I think it's going to be maybe after all this stuff gets sorted out with the prison. Either maybe Season 4, we could see him come in, or late, maybe at the end of Season 3 type of thing. I don't think that they've got him, they've got an actor cast as him yet. As far as I know, they don't. There was a casting sheet that was released or like leaked last week, but I haven't really looked into it too much in terms of the details to see if they've got somebody to do Tyreese. I don't think they do yet. So I think that's probably going to be a Season 4, Season 5 type thing. And here's another thing that's interesting too. If they blow through all of the prison material from the comic books in Season 3, I'd say they're going to have to probably do something different from just going by what the comic books do, because if they do that, they're going to catch up to the comic books really quickly, because the comic books end like issue 50 roughly, around there, 40, 50. Is where the prison sequence ends, okay? And we just passed 100. So that means the TV show at the end of this year may be close to, like, halfway or, into the story, and then it would be getting close to where the comic book series is at. And they wouldn't want it to catch up. You see this a lot in anime and manga, which is Japanese comic books and cartoons, so to speak. And they don't want it to catch up. So what I think would make sense for them to do is, after the prison and the governor stuff is done, either the end of Season 3 or the end of Season 4, would be to have Tyreese or somebody like that come in, have them leave the prison or do something like that after the governor is done with his thing, and then add in like a whole another couple seasons of a story arc for Seasons 5 or 6 or 4 or 5 or something like that, so that it really doesn't catch up to the comic book series and take it away from that general direction of the comic book series. Because 16 episodes at 40 minutes each, or 40, yeah, it's about 40 minutes, I think, for the TV series. I mean, there's a lot you can do in that amount of time. Like, they could blow through the whole prison thing in 1 season or 2 seasons. and then they'll really be getting close. So I think that they'll probably bring Tyreese in after, which would make sense. And then have him, maybe have his own group with new characters and that kind of stuff, and have him sort of do his own thing, and have Rick and the group go out to another location, like something we haven't seen them do yet. Robert Kirkman said when he originally had the idea that they were going to go to a high school, and they never did that. He chose to do a prison instead, it seems like. But maybe if they have him leave the prison in the TV series, they could do something like that, and Tyreese could come in at the end of the season 3 or 4, and sort of do that thing, or fill that role. But hopefully Daryl stays on for a while as sort of Rick's right-hand man, and I'd even like to see Daryl leave out on his own and maybe do a spin-off series with Daryl or something, or just get him out and have him come back sort of like Merle, but not kill him, because he's such a great character. You don't want to see him get killed. It would just suck so bad. So that's pretty much my thoughts on it. I don't think that Daryl or TDog, they fill the role of what Tyreese does in the comic books to kind of match it up, and they probably will a lot more in this season as well. But I don't think they are him, and I think that we will still see him in the TV series. I don't think it would be a good idea for them to just skip his character totally and just say, oh, forget about him. Because he is a cool character. What happens with him is really interesting. And I'd like to see them bring him in and just do something totally different with him. Maybe have him leave, or Rick's group meet him on the road after they leave the prison in another season or two would be cool. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on Tyreese in the TV series, whether or not Daryl and TDog fill his role, and when I think we can expect. That's my prediction. I think we can expect him within the next couple seasons to come on. I don't think they're going to forget about the character. I think they're going to bring him in regardless, because it seems like they're pretty much bringing in everybody as it is and just doing different stuff with them, which works good too. I like that better, because I don't like to be able to know everything. Like, I make predictions, but I could be wrong too. I don't know when they're going to do everything they're going to do. Even though I love the show so much, love the comic book, read them both, read all kinds of stuff on the internet, make videos about it, do all this kind of stuff, I still like to be surprised too if they do something I don't expect them to do, which is good, because if they follow the comic book to the T, it's not as fun, because then you don't have the surprising factor of, well, what are they going to do next? Oh, Shane's still alive? Why is he still alive? He wasn't alive in the comic book. Now what are they going to do with him? Interesting. Anyway, that's it for this video, guys. See you for the next one. Trav, saying peace.